born and bred there, and I was employed in KEBS in 2008, so I'm actually doing my 17th year. I've just started my 17th year. So I'm a food scientist, did my bachelor's in food science and technology at Egerton University, then did my master's in food safety at the University of Nairobi. So I was employed at quality assurance to do product certification, that is essentially enforcing food standards in the industry. So at the CB since 2018, early 2018 actually, I'm doing management system certification. So what I do, I'm a certification officer, but I'm currently in charge of food safety management system division. So what we primarily do is certification to management systems, food safety. So within food safety, we have food safety in relation to ISO 22000. So ISO 22000 certification, we have HACCP in line with the HACCP standards. So we have South African standards, SANS 10330, and then we have the Codex standard, the HACCP standard for Codex. So we do certification to those. We also do good manufacturing practices, all still within food safety management system certification. And then additionally to that, we also do eco-labeling and sustainability standards, which still falls within our division. This is a certification scheme that is owned by ARSO, the African Organization for Standardization. When clients apply or express interest for certification, my name is Naomi Kitur. I come from North Rift, born and bred there, and I was employed in KEBS in 2008, so I'm actually doing my 17th year. I've just started my 17th year. So I'm a food scientist, did my bachelor's in food science and technology at Egerton University, then did my master's in food safety at the University of Nairobi. So I was employed at quality assurance to do product certification, that is essentially enforcing food standards in the industry. So at the CB since 2018, early 2018 actually, I'm doing management system certification. So what I do, I'm a certification officer, but I'm currently in charge of food safety management system division. So what we primarily do is certification to management systems, food safety. So within food safety, we have food safety in relation to ISO 22000. So ISO 22000 certification, we have HACCP in line with the HACCP standards. So we have South African standards, SANS 10330, and then we have the Codex standard, the HACCP standard for Codex. So we do certification to those. We also do good manufacturing practices, all still within food safety management system certification. And then additionally to that, we also do eco-labeling and sustainability standards, which still falls within our division. This is a certification scheme that is owned by ARSO, the African Organization for Standardization. When clients apply or express interest for certification,
Hi, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're watching us from. Karibuni sana. This is Kenya Bureau of Standards. Yes, it's a certification body story. It's a certification body week. We're talking about certification body. The hashtag is #AskKEBS. Wherever you're watching us from, be attentive, because this conversation is going to be a very interesting one. Today we are talking all about certification body. We want to learn more about what they do, how does KEBS play a role in that whole process about certification, what are the different options that are available for you who is looking about certification. Are there other things that you also will know today about certification body? So stay tuned. We have the experts in the house. This conversation will be a very, very interesting one. So if you have any questions, use any of our chat platforms. If you're watching us on YouTube, you can use your comment section just to ask any questions. If you're on Facebook or Twitter, you can also use the comment section. And if you prefer to use the hashtag, just use the hashtag #AskKEBS. My name is Dennis. I'll be your host for today, and I'm so happy to have you. Glad to have you guys watching this conversation. So, the certification body. The conversation will start by knowing who is our expert in the house, what does she do. So, karibu sana.
Thank you.
It's good to have you on this conversation.
Yes.
Thank you for taking the time to break it all down for people.
Yes.
It's a certification body story.
Yes.
But before tuendele, who are you?
Okay, thank
Yes.
you so much, Dennis.
Yes.
My name is Purity Wagoi Wagai. I work at the certification department of Kenya Bureau of Standards. I started working at the KEBS certification body from year 2004 to date.
Wow.
Yes.
It's been that long?
Yes, it has been that long. And I'm qualified in, I have a degree in chemistry and biochemistry and master's in environmental science.
Wow.
And I'm currently a student in PhD in climate change.
Very soon, Daktari.
Yes. So in 2004, I
Yes.
joined certification department, and I started the scheme for certification of organizations to management systems for environment, health and safety until the year 2008, when I started a new scheme for certification of persons or registration of persons. So that's what I currently do. Yes.
So you transitioned from the one for organizations to the one for people.
Persons, yes.
Okay, it's interesting. And
Yes.
now ushaanza kuingia into the details of it all about, but I
Yes.
want you to start from where it all starts.
Okay.
Certification body, Kenya Bureau of Standards.
Yes.
What is all that?
Okay, maybe I can start with giving a brief history about KEBS certification body.
Please do.
In the 1990s, that's when KEBS started to provide certification services. The first organization to be certified by KEBS was Metobox. It was an organization in Thika. That was in 1990s.
Wow.
After that, of course, we had other organizations who are certified. Even those who are certified, the very first ones, including in the early 20s, included GlaxoSmithKline, Kenya Breweries, Gecko, which is an engineering firm at the coast. There was East Africa Maltings, among others. And of course, there has been continued many other organizations we have certified. So in year 2002, KEBS established a certification unit, which was mandated to provide certification services, accreditation, and training the industry. That was in 2002. Then the unit continued to grow, and in 2004, the accreditation part was separated from the certification services. So in 2004, KENAS, which is the current Kenya Accreditation Service, was formed in 2004 from the certification body.
So it was here?
Yes. Then in 2008, the National Quality Institute was separated from certification body to what it is currently.
As a unit now on its own?
Yes. So now we have certification body only for certification services, for certification of persons, as well as certification of management systems. And we have a new scheme, which we are calling a CAP, that is based on the standards from the African Regional Organization for Standardization. ARSO, yes. So we call it a CAP ARSO scheme for certification of agricultural produce.
Ah, for the producing now.
Yes. So we have a component of product certification at KEBS certification body.
Wow.
Yes.
But okay, let me go back, Dogon. I want to understand why would organizations really, or even individuals, why do they need to be either registered, certified? See, they exist. They do things that they are. If it's a professional, they will be professionals. Why do they need all this?
Okay, thank you. Our main mission at certification body is to promote industry, to promote their competitiveness by providing internationally recognized conformity assessment services. So when the organizations get certified by KEBS and even for persons, when we certify them according to the applicable standards, it gives them competitive advantage on the market. So they are able to, they are good out there.
Yes.
Of course, their products and services, customers will have more confidence in their products and services.
Yes.
Because there is an independent third party that is confirming that they operate according to certain standards, and so they are able, that promotes their business.
So it's really all, it actually gives them the confidence to be in the business with.
Yes.
Wako kwa soko na wanajua wako na very good things.
Yes, yes.
That's interesting. So
yes.
You're then probably saying it's probably then your target to have as many.
Yes, we want to certify as many organizations as possible and as many persons as possible.
Wow.
Yes.
So talk about, let's start with, I know you're an expert in the certification of persons,
Yes.
but when you talked about the 202 to, you had an experience with the management systems.
Yes.
I want you to start breaking it down for us from where it all begins. A company, an organization,
yes.
is interested to get a certification.
Okay.
What are they looking for, and what will KEBS then do, or what are their options even for them?
Okay, thank you. For an organization to be certified, we do receive inquiries and we guide them how to apply. Now we have automated application process for management system certification.
Yes.
And so they apply through our IMS, which is the automated system. And we review their application. And then if there is any information that is not complete, of course, we request them to provide adequate information.
Yes.
And we guide them on the process. So we plan with them.
Yes.
If we find they are ready for certification, we plan to do the stage 1 audit. And the results of stage 1 audit inform if stage 2 audit shall be is feasible. And when the stage 2 audit is conducted,
Yes.
the results are used to make certification decisions.
So that is, you have literally now given us the process. There is a stage 1
and a stage 2, yes,
okay.
for management systems.
For management systems.
Yes.
But are they all the same? Ama, is it one certification for all?
No. It's while the process for certification is the same, the certification is dependent on which standard the client applied for.
Okay.
Because we have applications for standards like the ISO 9001, which is the most popular standard. ISO 22000 is the second popular. ISO 14001, I would think it is the third one. Another one that is coming up so strongly as a popular standard is ISO 27001, perhaps because we need more security of information.
Yes.
ISO 45001 for health and safety, but the application process is the same.
It's
the
the
certification process is the same. So it depends on what the organization wants.
So
of course, we have other management systems.
Yes.
I've just mentioned the few that are commonly applied for. Yes.
Now, there's something you have actually now introduced. You have started mentioning 45,000, 22,000, 9,000, and even started mentioning the word ISO.
Yes.
But we are in Kenya Bureau of Standards.
Yes.
Where is the relationship, and why ISO and not probably another name? What does it even stand for? For people who are trying to watch, because I know that's a question.
Yes.
Wengi wenye wana watch sahi wanataka kujua hiyo ISO ni nini?
Okay, thank you so much.
Yes.
ISO, the name ISO, because it's a name, not an acronym, ISO, the long name means International Organization for Standardization, which is derived from ISO is derived from the Greek word isos, which means equal. And this is an international organization that is based in Geneva, Switzerland, whose membership is by the national standards bodies like KEBS. And Kenya Bureau of Standards, we are active members in participation or development of standards, like those for management systems.
Yes.
And those standards, once published, they get to be implemented by those who are interested. So these standards, we
as Kenya Bureau of Standards, we do participate in their development, and these standards represent the best practice
From the word ISO.
in management. Yes, from they are the international best practice in management of systems. Systems for operations that support better production of goods and services. They improve efficiency and effectiveness and other benefits. Even for certification of persons, they are also based on ISO standards.
Okay.
Yes, so even the certification for persons is therefore internationally recognized.
So what you're saying is certification with Kenya Bureau of Standards, that is really a certification body.
Yes.
Then a client or a potential client gets to have that international standing.
Yes, international recognition.
So when you get that certification with KEBS, you're going to probably walk with your head high.
Oh yes, and therefore they are able to trade even internationally.
Okay.
Yeah, across borders, because their business partners across borders overseas, they will acknowledge their certification because they understand what this international standard, what they are about. So yes, they foster trade.
That's
these
very
standards.
interesting.
Yes.
That's very interesting to hear. I hope you're following. Wale watu wa nyumbani wenye ulikuwa unataka kujua mambo ya ISO. Now you know that it's an organization. There is a genesis to that word. And about she talked about ISO standards. I want to still go back to those management systems before you get into the personnel.
Yes.
You talked about the 9001.
Yes.
Are these numbers, are they the same way ama ziko na majina zake? You said 9,000 to 22,000.
Yes.
To somebody who doesn't or has never come across all this,
Yes.
are you able to probably just from the schemes that KEBS offers today, just probably run through them? Say this is 9,000, it's called this.
Okay.
Is there a name for them?
Yes.
There is?
Yes, there is. Like ISO 9001, it is a number that is used to identify the standard for quality management systems. So the 9000 series of standard, because they are series, the 9000 number used by ISO for the purpose of management system, the series is used to identify all standards under the subject quality management. And in the series of those standards under 9000, it's only ISO 9001 that has the compulsory requirements an organization shall meet so that they are certified.
Okay.
Yes.
So there is more now when you talk about the 22,000.
Now ISO 22,000 is for food safety management systems.
Another family.
It's another family of standards. For food safety, yes, ISO 22,000.
Yes.
And the other standards, they are not under ISO 22,000 series, but they are also food safety, by the way. I needed to mention that.
Yes.
And we also certify, when we talk of food safety, in like food safety section at KEBS, it includes ISO 22,000. The title of that standard is Food Safety Management Systems. But under that section, we also certify to HACCP standards. It's identified as SANS 10330. We also certify under KS 2573 standard for hygiene practice in food establishments.
So it's a bring together.
So our food safety section has other standards other than ISO 22,000. The other standards, depending on, so that we are able to meet the market demand for the various types of standards. They want to be certified too for management of for making safe food.
Okay.
Yes.
You said that there is more now. When you talked about QMS, that is the 9,000. There is the one for food safety. You talked about another one for
ISO 14,001.
What is it for?
So ISO 14,000 series is used to identify standards under the subject environment management. Yes. So we have ISO 14,001, ISO 14,004.
It's another family now.
It's another family of standards under the subject of environmental management systems.
Which is offered here?
we also certify to among the series
Yes.
in that family.
Yes.
The only standard to be certified to for an organization
Yes.
is 14,001 because it is the one that has compulsory requirements. The other standards exist to support the one that has compulsory requirements to enable these organizations to better be able to meet the requirements of the standard with compulsory standards.
Okay.
Yes. However, I think, to clarify that these ISO standards for management systems
Yes.
are voluntary, but once an organization makes a decision to implement the standard and they are interested to be certified,
Yes.
the requirements become compulsory.
Once they decide.
Once they decide.
So it is voluntary for anyone to want to be part of it.
Yes.
But now then, once you say I want, then we will give you now the compulsory requirements for you to follow.
Yes.
Ah.
Yes. Now, when it comes to ISO 45001, the title of that standard is Occupational Health and Safety Management Systems. It also has its support standards like ISO 14002. Which has recommendations to anyone who wants to meet requirements of 45,001.
Yes.
45,002 provides recommendations on what an organization can do to meet the requirements of the compulsory standard 45,001.
Oh, so they complement each other.
They complement each other.
Ah.
Yes.
There's another one?
Oh, there are many. Even 27,001, that one is for information security management systems. It also has its supporting standards. That one is for information security management system. We also certify. It is becoming another popular standard because of threats to information security that we are now experiencing.
Yeah.
More and more organizations have continued to apply for certification to ISO 14001 that enhances information security by ensuring the organization will be able to ensure that their information remains confidential and it has integrity and it is available on demand to those who need it.
Wow.
Yes.
We have so many standards.
Yes. Also, we have ISO 22301 for business continuity management system. We also have ISO 341 for knowledge management systems.
There is a standard for that?
Yes, we have a standard for knowledge management system. And let's also remember that among other standards, there is also the ACAP ISO standards.
Yes, the one that also.
Yes, we have already mentioned that.
Yes.
And we are also looking into certifying organizations to ISO 7101 for healthcare organization management. We are working closely with the NQI for them to create an awareness and sensitize organizations on that so that there will be demand for that on the market.
Yes.
And KEBS CB has also developed capacity for ISO 37101 for sustainable development in communities. This is a very important standard when it comes to sustainable development, especially in county governments. And we should also think that Konza City, the authority in charge of management of that city, should implement ISO 37101. That is the standard that will help county governments and the cities to better manage the city for sustainable development. That standard is all inclusive of everything a city should do to ensure that even the people who live in that city, they enjoy staying in that city.
There is a standard for that.
There is a standard for that, and we have capacity for that. We are ready and waiting for applications from county governments and those other authorities that are in charge of management of cities. We are ready for them. We are encouraging them to apply to Kenya Bureau of Standards. We will be happy to give them that certification if they meet the requirements.
If they meet the requirements.
Yes,
wow.
we will certify.
Umesikia? Mambo ni mengi hapa. There is a lot you can be able to learn when we are talking about Kenya Bureau of Standards, and a lot about the management systems. Purity has been very kind enough to break them down for us. We've heard about the ISO 9001, the 27001, 45001, 22001.
Yes.
There is a lot of standards, and if anything, if you have any questions about any of those, this is the time. Use our chat section, talk to us, use the hashtag AskKEBS in all those platforms you're watching us from. Watu wa YouTube, use the hashtag AskKEBS. Watu wa Facebook, watu wa Twitter. Everywhere you're watching us, use the hashtag AskKEBS. Now we have been talking about the management systems. I know it's quite a very expansive field, and
it is.
There's more we can even probably talk about.
Yes.
Before we jump on to now the field that you now dive or do in a daily basis, is there anything else you'd like to probably point to in the management systems direction?
Yes. For the management systems,
Yes.
and this will also include certification of persons,
Yes.
KEBS certification body must follow or apply some principles in the way we do certification activities and the certification services we provide. These principles include impartiality, openness, responsiveness to complaints, responsibility, risk-based approach, among other principles,
So those
and
are
confidentiality.
principles.
Those are principles we must demonstrate. I must also say that KEBS certification body is accredited.
We are also accredited?
We are accredited. KEBS certification body is accredited.
Yes.
And we must demonstrate that we are applying those principles in the way we provide certification services. And we are accredited by the Dutch Accreditation Council. We call it RVA. It's in Netherlands.
Yes.
And also the Kenya Accreditation Service, KENAS. For both the management systems,
Yes.
and for certification of persons is done by KENAS.
Ah.
So those principles we must demonstrate that we apply them. It is especially very important that in the way we provide certification services for persons and management systems, we must be impartial, and all interested parties must perceive us as impartial. We have a responsibility to help others to perceive us as impartial in the way we provide certification services, whether for persons and for organizations.
Now I think the question will be, are we doing that?
Exactly. That's why we are accredited.
Wow.
The first time KEBS was accredited is in 2011. And we've maintained our accreditation. The accreditors have always renewed because we've continued to demonstrate that we are serious about application of those principles.
Wow.
We are serious about that.
That's amazing. So
Yes.
what Purity is trying to say is that if you're looking for any certification service, I think KEBS is the best place.
KEBS, yes.
It's the right place.
And the KEBS
Yes.
is one of the major certification bodies in the region. When it comes to certification of management systems, we not only provide it in Kenya, we are regional. We have certified organizations in Rwanda, Tanzania, Uganda, Ethiopia, Congo.
Wow.
Yes, we are there.
That's interesting. So
Yes.
our scope is not even within the confines of Kenya.
We are regional.
Wow, that's amazing to
Yes.
hear. So umesikia hata kama unatuona kutoka Congo, Tanzania, and you're looking to get your company or organization certified, KEBS has enough management systems to sort every need that you are looking for. Kama ni mambo ya quality management system, if you're in the health industry, if you are looking to build a city in your country, if you're a county government who is looking to do something in cities, we have a standard for that. If you're in the food making departments or operations, we have a standard for that. You're in the IT field, we have a standard for that. You're doing business, and there's something called Business Continuity Management System.
Yes.
BCMS, right?
Yes.
It's also something interesting that I think it's where an organization can make sure that business continues, right?
Yes. Yes. They must be able to continue with the business, with their business.
Yes.
Even in, should there be an adverse experience like fire, COVID, and whatever other that can disrupt their operations,
Yes.
they should have a plan to ensure that they will continue in business, and within a certain predefined period of time,
Yes.
they should be able to go back to business as soon as possible. Wow. Yeah, let me also add something.
Please do, yes.
About the management systems, that we also have some standards that are sector specific for management system. Example is ISO 21001. This is a standard for management systems in education sector. We've already received applications. We have capacity already we have developed to certify organizations to ISO 21001. That one is, it's a quality management system specific for education sector. Okay. We are very ready for that.
So those are people in the industry or the sector for education. There's a standard for that.
Yes, we have.
That's amazing to hear.
Yes.
So, watu wa nyumbani, if you're watching this and you have many questions about what or how you need to navigate this whole business of getting your business to start claiming and having, we are certified, or we are ISO this certified. Is that how they write it, pale chini?
Yes.
ISO this certified, ISO 9001
certified. Yes.
How to do that? How to get that? Today is the day. Ask those questions to us. So we've been talking about the management systems. It's quite a very expansive field. As you have seen, there is a lot to talk about.
Yes.
But you also mentioned when you were starting that you also have something now in the persons, the people.
Yes.
How do you do that?
Now, certification of persons.
Yes.
Yes, we are also doing that. It is a competence-based certification. It's a CBC.
CBC.
It is purely CBC. So CBC, it has not just started because of the education system we have started to see a few years ago in Kenya, in our education system.
Yes.
ISO started it long ago by developing standards for recognition of competence of persons based on their competence, and this competence must be demonstrated. It must be practical. There is no other way.
They must show.
It must be demonstrated. So the process starts by, of course, we receive inquiries by networking. When we have workshops, trainings there, through CB, through NQI, we do market. When we receive inquiries, we guide them on applications. Once we receive application, we review if the person has met our prerequisites, which I'm going to explain what they are. And then we guide the person on the steps to be taken, depending on the scheme, because we have a scheme for certification of auditors. It is a different scheme from certification of welders, a different scheme for certification of non-destructive testing persons, but the steps are generally the same. It is the difference is the focus on what type of competence is to be certified. So we guide them on the process. And one of the key stages in the process is that we make arrangements with the candidate for the witnessed competence. Either it can be in an actual situation or in a simulation. The standard allow any of those can be used, but KEBS we choose in an actual situation. So if I can give example of a welder. We prepare the candidate, always the examinations that apply, the dates and all information about examinations, we make the candidates aware and how it will be done. That is part of application of the principle on openness.
It must be known.
It must be known. The candidate must know what to expect. So in the case of welder, we prepare the candidate for what is to be done and the candidate is involved. We have first to determine what will be the welding specification procedure to be applied, the materials that need to be welded to make the weldment, the examiner who the candidate will also be told, because we also register examiners for the purpose of certification of persons, and all arrangements are made. So it will require now the welder to make a weldment as our registered examiner witnesses, so that we are sure that it is this candidate who has made the weldment. Then that weldment, after it is completed,
Yes.
and it has to be done according to a certain procedure, depending on this welder applied for which competence. Because we have welders who may apply either for plate welding or pipe welding. It can be 6G, 1G, and others. So when the weldment is made, it is taken to our testing laboratories at KEBS for testing of the quality of the weld. The testing includes destructive and non-destructive testing. Once the weldment is tested, we get results. Those results and other types of examinations we've taken through the candidate, all the results are put together, and the application information, including their qualifications in the background qualification, and all that information is used to make decision whether to certify the welder or not. In case the welder may fail in any of the examinations, we give opportunity for a repeat test only once. If they repeat another time, we may charge something small to take care of the costs. Okay, that is welder. And we certify them for 3 years renewable.
Oh, it's not a
that
permanent?
That is welder. No, it is renewable. It's not a permanent it's not a one-off certification. It needs to be renewed, and we do surveillance monitoring of these welders every 6 months to determine whether they continue to practice. Because this certification requires that the person certified has to demonstrate continued practice in that profession. And that is one way we also need to be certain that the person continues to enhance competence with the continued practice. So we monitor them every 6 months. And then for them to renew, we have to repeat the test. Of course, in between the 3 years, if the welder wants to expand the scope of certification, they can apply for other areas of certification. So for this recertification, we repeat those examinations. The practical one, oral, written, like that.
We also take it to the labs?
Yes, we will take to the lab. And we also, it's for management of threats to impartiality, we also ensure that the examiner who witnessed the welder make the weldment must be different from the examiner at the laboratories who will test the quality of the weld.
So the same person?
Yes, that is one way of managing threats to impartiality. When it comes to registration or certification of auditors, there are prerequisites also. They need to have at least a diploma in their background education. And we also make them aware the schemes for which we register. It can be an auditor wants to be registered for environmental management systems, health and safety, quality, food safety, whatever they choose. They need to demonstrate that they have some experience in auditing. Those who apply, they don't have any. We give them an opportunity to join our audit teams so that they get to be attached as trainees to get the experience needed before we can get to evaluate them. So we attach them, and then we plan for an evaluation on site. So the person will conduct an audit together with our audit teams, and in that audit, we will send an evaluator who is independent of the audit team. The work of the evaluator is to observe the auditor conducting the audit and give us a report on how the auditor did the audit.
They're auditing the auditor?
Yes.
They are going there
the
to look
evaluator is auditing the auditor, right?
Okay, so
then, yes. In
a room, you would see the auditors asking questions, doing what they're doing. There is also another person.
Yes, and a person independent of the audit team.
Okay.
And there is also a written examination the auditor will do. So those evaluation and examination results, we present them to the decision committee to determine whether the auditor will be registered or not, depending on if the requirements are met. If there are weaknesses, the auditor may be required to improve first before we can make a decision. And those certification decisions are made by a committee.
I was to ask, sim to moja?
No, sim to moja, and that is still another way of managing threats to impartiality. And everyone, whether it's for management systems or certification of persons,
Yes.
every person who has participated in examination of the candidate,
Yes.
in case of persons, all audit activities, in
Yes.
the case of an organization, certification for organizations,
Yes.
they cannot participate in decisions for the certification.
They sit it out.
An auditor
Yes.
for an organization
Yes.
cannot again participate in decision making
For
for
that
the
organization.
organization he or she audited.
Ah,
Even the examiners for welders,
Yes.
the examiners for non-destructive testing persons,
Yes.
the examiners who participated
Yes.
cannot participate again in decision making for that person.
si atasema yeye ndio alimuona akifanya.
So it's a threat to impartiality if we allow that. So that is another way of managing threats to impartiality.
So what that means is this committee is not then a fixed committee. It's every time you reconstitute based on the opportunity or the situation.
No, we have a standing committee that is appointed every 6 months. What we make sure is that in this committee, we include people who are competent in all certification schemes we apply, such that if a part of the committee member was involved as an auditor or an examiner,
Yes.
we have others who are not involved and they are part of they are also committee members.
Okay.
Now those are the ones who will make decisions.
Wow.
Yes,
It's quite a process.
it is.
And you've only talked about welders and auditors.
Yes.
You have not even started speaking about people in NDT.
Yes, NDT, it
Yes.
is basically I had said
Yes.
the certification process is, because we do it according to a certain standard,
Yes.
the process is almost similar. Now for non-destructive testing persons,
Yes.
it will require, after we do application, we find that this person has met prerequisites, this person will have to do a non-destructive test at our laboratories
Yes.
and they give results. And these results will require another registered examiner who likely to be of a higher qualification or competence
Yes.
to determine whether the results given are accurate according to what is tested.
And what should be expected.
And yes, so that we can determine whether the person is qualified to do non-destructive tests or not. Now for auditors, we certify them for 5 years renewable.
Welders is 3.
3, according to applicable standards.
Yes.
For auditors, we certify them 5 years renewable. Within the period of 5 years,
Yes.
we monitor auditors at least once on site. After registration,
Yes.
we will also go again on site as they practice to determine if they've continued to maintain the competence standards. These auditors, we also require that they must continue to practice. This registration is also based on if the person continues to practice in that profession. Because there is also need for this person to demonstrate, and also CB is interested to know whether this person is also updated in current discipline, current information, current standards, current ethics, and whatever else that apply in that profession. So we need to also determine or confirm whether this person has continued to practice. So for auditors, they also need to continue to fill a log. There is an audit log. They continue to fill from time to time. And through our automated system, they need to update records to indicate that they continue to practice. So even for persons, welders, auditors, NDT, and other upcoming schemes for certification of persons, we have also automated the application process, and we are now doing it online, and they can access the online process on our website. If on our website they go to the tab online services, they go there, they will find CBNQI IMS. If they go there, they will be able to create an account and be able to apply online.
Now hold that thought. I want to actually come back so that you can tell us more now, even about, I've already seen Yusuf and I've also seen Sunny, I'm seeing Bobby, I see Diramo, I see Ibra, John Kiago, I see Red, Gio, I see Joel also watching. Karibuni sana. This is Ask KEBS. The hashtag is Ask KEBS. We are talking about certification body, the processes, what it entails, different things we've learned about management systems. We have also heard about personnel, people who are auditors, welders, non-destructive people in the NDT field, that is. So there's a lot in this field of certification body. There's more, and we need your questions. So keep sending those questions. Use the hashtag AskKEBS. Speak to us through our socials, that is on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube, everywhere. Speak to us. The hashtag is AskKEBS. My name is Dennis. We'll be taking a very, very, very short break. And once we come back, we'll be now taking in those questions so that tuweze kuelewa kama hii mambo ya certification, we can be able to even get to certify more people. I've seen somebody here ask kama tuna certify accountants. Usijibu, we will be back to it. So thank you so much. We take a break.
Yes.
We'll be back.
Thank you.
My name is Naomi Kitur. I come from North Rift, born and bred there, and I was employed in KEBS in 2008, so I'm actually doing my 17th year. I've just started my 17th year. So I'm a food scientist, did my bachelor's in food science and technology at Egerton University, then did my master's in food safety at the University of Nairobi. So I was employed at quality assurance to do product certification, that is essentially enforcing food standards in the industry. So at the CB since 2018, early 2019 actually, I'm doing management system certification. So what I do, I'm a certification officer, but I'm currently in charge of food safety management system division. So what we primarily...
And we are back. Thank you so much for staying with us. The hashtag is AskKEBS. My name is Dennis. This is Kenya Bureau of Standards. You're watching Kenya Bureau of Standards. If you're watching us on Facebook, thank you. If you're watching us on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube, anywhere you're watching this session from, the hashtag is AskKEBS. Hashtag ni AskKEBS. Tuulize maswali. We are here to answer them. We want to hear more questions about the certification body. We are talking with Purity, who has been breaking down the whole certification body process. I feel like after this conversation, I would want to sit in your day and see how that works. We will see if we can also be able to have a conversation with the CB office to take us through that process. Tuone, hivyo wamesema mpaka wanaenda kuona vile welder anafanya, tunapeleka kwa lab, tuna test. Kama niyo mtu an destructive testing, they will do tests. There is somebody who will be seated or rather doing an oversight of the same, an auditor the same. There will be somebody auditing the auditor. It's quite an interesting field. That's the whole world of certification body. I know there is still more.
Yes.
Kuna mengi hatujaongelelea.
Yes. I would like to say that for the personnel certification, the standards, because people can also search about that on the internet. They may not get the standard itself, but they'll get to know about these standards more on the internet. They can even visit the ISO website, which is www.iso.org, to know more about these standards. Now, for certification of persons, we do it according to ISO IEC 17024 standard, whether it's for auditors, welders, non-destructive testing, and for other professionals. We have schemes we want to develop for more professionals. So yes, we do according to 17021, and basically the standard requires that for every profession, the legal requirements that apply to the profession and other applicable requirements, which include requirements of interested parties, this professional must demonstrate that the person meets, including requirements for the certification body itself, for competence that is expected or required. Okay, so 17024 is the umbrella standard we use for certification of persons. When it comes to welder certification, the standard that is specific to that discipline is ISO 9606 Part 1. And for non-destructive testing persons, it is ISO 9712. The other standards for each of those disciplines I've mentioned that support the main one. For example, if it is welders, there are also ISO standards that require, that have health and safety requirements to be observed by the welder as they do the welding activities, which is also part of our requirements to certify the welder. They must observe certain health and safety requirements.
Which they will be told during application?
We tell them everything. They know what to be expected. They even know what they will be evaluated on before we do the evaluation. Remember the principle of openness.
True.
We tell them this is, you will be expected to demonstrate competence on this and this and this.
They have to know.
And then they have to do it as we watch. Yes.
That's interesting.
Yes.
Now you are welders, or rather just the
96 or for all of them, for all persons, they will have to make them aware what to expect and what competence aspects we will be evaluating.
True.
Okay. When it comes to, I had said that we are in the process of developing schemes for certification of other professionals.
True.
I remember someone there asked whether we have a scheme for accountants.
Yes.
Just be a bit patient. We will be going there and we will have that. And we will develop it. And I want to tell the persons out there in this whole world that once you get this kind of certification, because we do provide, we give a certificate valid for, it can be 5 years for the auditor, 3 years for welder, 3 years for non-destructive, and other schemes, they'll have validity period for every certification. We sign a contract and also a certificate. And this certificate, of course, it will have the logo of the certifying organization, which is KEBS certification body, and a logo for our accreditation body in the same certificate. Like we have done that for welders. And this certificate is not just a paper. It is because it is a certificate that is accredited and provided according to international standards. Therefore, it should give the person certified competitive advantage. For those who are looking for jobs out there, they can use that certification and they will be able to even perhaps convince potential employers that their competence has been verified and confirmed by an independent third party.
And a reputable one.
We have actually certified some welders and they have received this feedback. There's one we certified, he lives in Mombasa. And he told me that from the time he certified, he got certified, he got jobs at Congo and generally around East African region because of that certificate. So you will do, if you are certified by KEBS, the person will look different from other job seekers.
So I can imagine in a room, they walked in with papers.
Because this is certification that goes beyond the academic qualifications and other certificates we get, diploma, degree. Now that one is at another level. Actually, the professional courses someone may do and the diploma, the degrees and the like are actually prerequisites for certification of this person. You must demonstrate your background qualification. That is prerequisites now. And then we take this person through the certification process. And until this person demonstrates competence, that's why I said it is CBC. ISO developed standards for CBC kitambo. Si ya jana kama hii tumeanza Kenya ya education system. Ilianza kitambo sana at ISO. So this person has demonstrated competence. So I'm telling employers out there if you are approached by a welder, an auditor, an destructive testing person, showing that kind of a certificate from Kenya Bureau of Standards, I'm assuring you that this is someone whom we have tested their competence practically, and until we are satisfied the person has met all competence requirements, we do not certify. And this certification is not a one-off certificate. We monitor all of them.
Yeah.
The standards require that we will keep monitoring the continued competence. And actually, the contract for certification indicates that in case KEBS in that surveillance monitoring of competence, yes, we determine the person has lost competence, we can withdraw our certificate. That is a requirement of the contract for this certification.
So you're telling an employer,
yes,
when they see a person with a valid certificate,
please respect that certificate because that person will be very productive because we have confirmed the competence.
Wow.
Practically.
That's amazing.
Yes.
I think while you're saying that, it's also a message to potential people who are interested into the fields that you're already certifying people. That
yes,
is welders, the auditors, and the NDT people.
Yes.
If you're really looking for that, rather you're in the process of improving your papers, this is the best avenue for you.
Yes.
Talk to us, talk to Kenya Bureau of Standards, talk to Purity. She's going to be in a better position to now make sure that when you enter those rooms with your papers, not only are you presenting your bachelor's, your trade tests and everything else, you also have a certification from Kenya Bureau of Standards. Wewe na watu wenye wako na ISO certification mnataka karibu kufanana. Anyway, yes, there's also something you're telling me about the management systems.
Yes. And I want to go back to county government.
Counties, eh?
I want to go back about ISO 37101 and food safety infrastructure, which ISO 37101 yes, should support this county government to come up with infrastructure that can support the micro, small, medium, and even large organizations yes, to be able to make safe food. Why am I saying that? From my audit practice, we audit organizations, small, micro, medium, some of them even large, and we realize that for them to be certified, it appears like they might have to adjust the infrastructure they developed or constructed for making of food, processing, manufacturing of food.
Yeah.
But because the county government, in their strategic plans, they have determined that each county government will have an industrial park.
Yeah.
Chances are that in that industrial park, they will want to support those in the business of making food in whichever way, yeah, whether it's agricultural produce, manufacturing, and whatever.
Yes.
But if they can consult Kenya Bureau of Standards, right at the beginning of making the infrastructure, the buildings where manufacturing can be made, yeah, will be able to advise their engineering plans to come up with facilities that will support making of safe food. Wow. Because when we sometimes go out to audit these companies who make food, we realize that the infrastructure they are using does not adequately support making of safe food. This infrastructure, there are some standards that require it has to be done in a certain way.
Yeah.
It is about the spatial orientation of some components of this infrastructure in relation to the other parts of the infrastructure. Example, the location of the production area, yeah, in relation to washrooms, in relation to where they store raw materials, etc. Orientation in space, what is put where. And when we audit, you realize that they may not even manage to bring down some of their structures to meet the standards. So you might find that they're actually not able to meet some of the requirements of the standard because of the engineering designs that were used to make their facilities. So I'm requesting the county governments,
Yes.
when they are coming up with their industrial parks, if you intend to include food manufacturing facilities for those organizations in the food sector,
Yes.
Please consult Kenya Bureau of Standards, certification department, so that your engineering designs for those facilities can be informed by our standards, so that those who will start to do manufacturing of food, they will be able to make safe food that will meet requirements, including the design of the infrastructure that is making that food.
Wow.
Because we have designs for infrastructure, what we may call good manufacturing practice or prerequisite programs according to ISO 22002, the various parts of that standard.
Wow.
Yes.
Actually, I'm seeing a question. Yes, before you go in that and leave that line of thought of the standard for infrastructure, Gracia is asking, she's asking about malls. And I think just to phrase this question, malls are cropping up everywhere now. You know, every malls, complexes.
Malls.
Yes,
Okay.
you're seeing malls.
Shopping malls.
Yes, shopping malls being
Yes.
built up. So Grace is asking, are shopping malls also supposed to be into that line of thought? Ama it's only counties who are building buildings?
Yes, even malls. If they are serious about providing safe food,
Yes.
the infrastructure that is being used to make safe food should have a certain design, so that they can, the design itself,
Yes.
like what is the direction of this exit door in relation to the other door that exits to elsewhere. Where is the location of sinks for washing hands? Where is the location of washrooms? Where is the location of staff changing rooms? Where is the location of, so that spatial orientation of the various parts of the facility is important in facilitating the organization in this business to make safe food that will meet the standards.
That's amazing.
Yes, yes. So even malls,
Yes.
I wish everyone who is planning to come up with any facilities that will be used for making food,
Yes.
can consult us. Because it might be a bit too late when we go to audit them for certification. They realize that, do we bring down this wall? Do we bring down these washing facilities and the washrooms? It will be another big cost,
which would have been easily sorted.
Which should have been sorted out if their engineering designs were informed by standards for making safe food.
Wow.
In terms of infrastructure.
That's amazing.
Yes.
So if you're looking to even venture into the business of food making, you want to set up a big manufacturing plant.
Yes.
Before you go ahead and start committing resources and start breaking ground.
Yes.
At the point of you having consultations with your engineers, surveyors, and the people in that whole business, it's good you talk to people like Akita Purity in the certification body, so that if they need to speak to those decisions as early as then, so that when they are coming to audit, it becomes easier. Usikute store iko karibu na mlango, na mahali pato ndio watu wenye wanaingia na mguu wakitoka kwa matope walipitia hapo, and it's a storage facility. Ama such issues, washrooms where you're going to place them, it can be best informed from the word go.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Very important. And even those who, there could be individuals who are interested in coming up with the buildings, facilities where they want to start the business of making food.
Yes.
They can come and consult us at KEBS, so that they will have the right infrastructure right at the beginning. It can be an entrepreneur, self-sponsored entrepreneur who want to do that business. Let them come first to consult us, so that they will have the right infrastructure. Amazing. So that when they are working with engineers, we will be able to, the competences from engineer and the competence from CB, when it's married together like this, they will come up with a design for the facilities that will work well for making of safe food.
That's amazing.
Yes.
And it's actually something I think we also need to spread the gospel to the people who are looking to do, not just even the manufacturing, everything you intend to start, everything you want to do. Please have a thought behind, is there a standard to this? And
Yeah.
if anything, speak to us. Speak to Kenya Bureau of Standards. Speak to Purity. She's ready to assist, right?
Yes.
People can call your office, visit when she's in the office, sit with her, talk to her. Let there be plans that have started from the word go, so that you can be able to have a very good process for yourself. This is Ask KEBS. My name is Dennis. It's very interesting to hear all these things that I'm so wowed that there is a standard. Even you talked about knowledge management somewhere.
Yes.
It's a lot. Standard is a big world for everyone who is interested in being an expert or a professional in this field.
Yes.
Those are the people you talked about, welders. You want to be an auditor. And anything else you want to do when it comes to the certification body, please talk to us. This time you can even ask questions now that we are here. Thank you so much, David Kasioki. David Kasioki is saying that was a very good presentation from Purity. Thank you so much for watching, Mr. David. We are grateful. Keep those questions coming in. The hashtag is and shall always remain Ask KEBS. We are somewhere into the tail end of this conversation. I don't know if there's something you would also want to pass home kwa wale watu wenye history ya certification imeanza kuwakimbiza. Are there contacts? Is there an email? How do umetuambia tuende kwa website pale, tuende online services? Please take it away.
Yes, okay, thanks. For those who may want to contact us, they can contact email address is cb management at kebs.org. That one will go straight to CB. CB management at kebs.org. For telephone number, 020-6948-263 will also come to KEBS certification body. And of course, if someone can just call to our main lines, they will be directed to CB.
Wow.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes. And I also need to say, even for management systems, it is, we certify for 3 years renewable, and we also do surveillance audits on the, to determine if this organization has maintained the standards. And the contract that applies also indicates conditions under which it can be suspended or certified, so or withdrawn. So when you find an organization, it still has a valid certificate, it means they've continued to maintain the standards for certification. Wow. Yes, and you can have confidence that they meet certain standards, because that an independent that party has verified on behalf of their customers that certain standards are being met.
Amazing.
Yes.
And it's actually good we had an independent, a reputable body, that is Kenya Bureau of Standards, has made sure that the marks you're seeing, when you see a company saying we are an ISO 9001 certified firm, when somebody comes to your office with a welder certificate or they are an auditor, they have been certified by the best. These are the best people who can be able to offer you these services. We are a leading service provider, not just in Kenya, across the region. I've heard that we can go, or we have gone all the way to Congo and expanding. Our schemes are improving every day. We have plans to even probably one day certify accountants and every other scheme that we can be able to do. It's a growth for us to see from the 2000. You say it's 1990 is when the 90s.
Yes, KEBS started certification services in 1990s.
Wow. Today it's 2024 and you have how many schemes? Around more than 5 and
above. There are more than 5. We have quite a number of schemes.
Amazing. That's amazing to hear. The schemes
almost 10.
Almost 10?
Yes, schemes, different schemes. QMS, EMS, like that.
Wow.
Could be around there.
There is a lot.
Yes.
There is a lot, and there is a lot for you who is looking to get that certification from Kenya Bureau of Standards. Talk to us. The hashtag is AskKEBS. Let me remind you that in case you have any questions, any issues, she's given us our numbers. That is the 020694000 or the
6948 263 will go direct to CB, KEBS
Yes.
CB.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
The email is CB.
cbmanagement@kebs.org.
That's amazing.
Of course, even those contacts, I think they can also, they are on our website. If they go to what we do,
Yes.
scroll down to CB,
Yes.
they'll find much more information about CB.
That's amazing.
Yes. Something I would like also to clarify, because they may ask,
Yes.
these standards for ISO, there is a principle we call continuous improvement that applies to these standards. Certification does not mean perfection. So an organization will be certified, yes, it provides confidence. They are meeting standards, international best practice.
Yes.
But they may still have a weakness. What they are required is to demonstrate that should they have a weakness, because we may not have perfect situations in this world,
True.
that they work towards working on what may still be a weakness they may be having in their operations.
Wow.
I think that is important to clarify that.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Even us as Kenya Bureau of Standards, we are an ISO 9001 certified firm,
Yes,
right?
yes.
By the British
Standards Institute.
Yes, at BSI. So even Kenya Bureau of Standards means that we also have, when we have gone vitu ambazo ulikuwa umepanga, assuming you have applied for marks at Kenya Bureau of Standards or any other service you're looking for Kenya Bureau of Standards, in case there's anything that has gone wrong, you can always talk to us. We have our customer care lines, that is 020-694-8000. Call us anytime through those numbers. You can also talk to us. We have a toll-free number, that is 1545. Call us anytime during normal working hours, that is from 8 a.m. all the way to 5 in the p.m. You will find somebody on the line, ask to speak to certification body, ask any question about any KEBS service you're looking to be able to get. We will be there. We will be happy to assist you and respond to any of your inquiries. You have complaints, please talk to us. We also do have our customer care office. In every KEBS office that you walk into, there is a customer complaint form. Fill it up. If you have a product that you also consider to be a problem and you would like Kenya Bureau of Standards to look into it, you can also complain to us. We do have the toll-free number 1545, and we have a department which is called Market Surveillance. Their job is to do investigations regarding such products. They will be able to do even look at those processes or even that problem. If it's a product you'll in a supermarket, they will ask you for proof of purchase. What do you expect about all this? And they can be able to help you navigate this problem. So usikae nyumbani ukisema Kenya Bureau of Standards sijui vile nitawafikia. Kuna toll free number 1545, ama piga the main number, that is 020-694-8000. Our email address is info@kebs.org. Our customer care email address is customercare@kebs.org. You're looking to speak to the CB, talk to cbmanagement@kebs.org. This is Ask KEBS. My name is Dennis. It's been such a pleasure to have you guys. I hope mmesoma. I hope mmejua sasa leo mambo ya ISO, what it all means, mambo ya the Greek word, the Genesis, the standards that we have or we are able to certify you on. We also have the certification for persons, that is the welders, the auditors, the non-destructive testing people, and every other skill that you're developing. Just talk to us. And every time you're seeing this live session, use the hashtag AskKEBS. And kama unapitia mitandaoni yetu pale, there are videos that we are releasing every week. They are about how proud we are to be part of this organization called Kenya Bureau of Standards. And that is amazing to see different people in different fields of Kenya Bureau of Standards doing what they do best, loving what they do, and telling you about their life. You've had that Purity join Kenya Bureau of Standards all the way back in 2004.
That's when I joined
CB.
But I had a prior experience in other departments at KEBS.
So when did you join KEBS?
1996.
1996.
Yes.
These are the people who have been here longer than even some of us were born. Anyway, thank you so much. My name is Dennis. It's been such a pleasure. The hashtag is AskKEBS. That was all the time we had today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.